Hi, my name is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher, and I'm your guide through this structured learning technology curriculum. There's 32 lessons. We're in lesson 7 for fourth graders, and it's on Google Earth. They have spent a lot of time on Google Earth since kindergarten. So if you're using this curriculum, so they probably are pretty savvy about Google Earth. You want to take them to a point of reminding them what they've learned in the past and accomplishing some new skills. So the vocabulary here is probably pretty familiar. Lats and longs, tour, grid, probably pretty familiar. How do you zoom into Google Earth? Students have difficulty dragging the globe. Arrow keys are a good solution for that. How to play the Google Earth tour, how to move between cells. Oh, that's for email. If you're working on email, that's a good one to remind them of. And retaking a quiz, because I think you're going over a blank keyboard quiz from last week. So yes, they can retake any quiz to get a better score if you applied the Mulligan rule. So nothing's new. It's all scaffolded from prior years. So there you have that. How can I understand my world more authentically is your essential question. Well, reading in books and looking at flat pictures only gets you so far. Google Earth, it is flat, but it just doesn't look flat. So using a tool like Google Earth that lets you dive into a location, see everything around it, zoom back in time and see what it used to look like. These are wonderful tools that you want to take advantage of. So assessment strategies, watch their keyboarding. That's always a good way to assess them. When they're not expecting a quiz, just look at their keyboarding habits and anecdotally assess how they're doing. They probably, some of them did their board presentation today. There is a project in this lesson that they're going to submit. You've got a lot of assessments on this one. Worked well in the group. This is a really important one. So don't be afraid to use that as an assessment, and then let students know why some people did well on that, others didn't. And then understand that Google Earth contributes uniquely to understanding. You want students to see it as a tool they may select themselves when they're studying geography or history or another topic that they say, yeah, I could do this better on Google Earth. You want them to see it as that kind of a tool. So discuss that with them. Okay, review the blank keyboard quiz, whatever, make sure they understood it and see if they had any questions on it. If this is your week for evidence board, do that one also. Then open Google Earth. The iPad app is different from the desktop app. And if you're on Chromebooks, you probably will have to do a completely different. There's a couple ways to get it up on Chromebook, or use Google Maps, something else like that. But be prepared for this one. So you know, if I have Chromebooks, I might have to use one of these approaches rather than Google Earth itself. Or I might have to use a different digital device with students, which is fine. You want them to see that you use different digital devices depending upon the task. Students know a lot about Google Earth, so have someone volunteer to go over how to do these different things. Now let me bring up my Google Earth. The project today deals with the lats and longs, and you can see that in here. It tells you how to bring them up and how to make sure everything's there. But let me just show you on mine. So you want to go to View and Grid, and now you have those. There's your grid. And the more you zoom in, the more lines you get telling you what's where. Over here, make sure students are aware this is where they're going to show things. So photos, be real cautious about that one. 3D buildings are always good to have. Places are good. Borders and labels are good. You might have a tour that you've downloaded that takes them through habitats or landforms, something like that, and that would be up here. And it might have to be down here too. So be aware. Introduce them to these, but the ones you want them to know, and it'll come up later in the lesson, is the 3D buildings and places, so they can see when they want to see what else is on that latitude. They can zoom out so I can see it better. There's N35, and then I'm going to grab this and scroll around, and I straighten my globe out. Whoa. Okay, I'm not doing that so well. Okay, let's just grab the end, move it back to the top. Now I'm way down there. Okay, I've just really messed this up. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, so I forgot what we were on, but there's your, if you're following 15 over, there's your 15. If you're following 20, I think we were doing 20. So now here's Spain, and you can see right there what's in Spain, Portugal, and then it crosses over right here and crosses through Italy. And so you can follow it through for all these countries it goes through. And that's what you want them to do on their chart here, the equator, and follow it through to 2 places it crosses in the Tropic of Cancer. So they can get a sense of how amazingly what a latitude, and discuss the importance of latitude in weather, not solely obviously, but how close you are to the equator and to the Arctic and Antarctic makes a big difference in weather. So they need to know how to find those latitudes right there. And what else did we have? Latitudes and longitudes, and I think the rest was pretty easy. So if you click and hold, it turns, gives you a different perspective. If you go up here, your Street View guy shows up over here, but we're too far out right now, and so I would have to zoom in, and eventually then he shows up. There he is. So if I click and drag him, it's just solid blue because there's so many streets. I could just drop him and see where he ends up. And he goes in there, and we're in the middle of a field. That's kind of nice. And there's no 3D buildings. That's sad. And I'll just look around. We're just in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So let's get out of that and let's find somewhere a little more exciting. How about we drop him on that street? See if that's a little, but they don't have a street view. That's why these are flat. It's ground level view. There is no street view for these. So it just doesn't work. But if we look around the horizon and there's nothing popping up telling us there's street view there, I don't know, maybe that is. So we could exit ground level and let's try to find a different one. And they will have the same problem. They will have where they drop it and they don't see anything. So let me find something that is a little more populous. Where am I? Ah. Okay, there's Italy. You think Italy might have something? How about Rome? So if I go into Rome, I just have this feeling that Rome is going to have some stuff for me to see. See all those pictures popping up? So those must be under, I don't know, something over here. So if I grab my Street View guy, and lots of street views, drop him there. I must have landed on top of right in an intersection. So there we have Street View now. And you notice up here now it says Exit Street View. So you can use those, have them play with those so they can really see what's going on. Really fun ways for them to take advantage of Google Earth. The lesson, this part of the lesson is fast enough. They will have time to play around with it. Okay, guys, let me see if there was anything on theirs that we didn't cover. And I think not. The screenshots, which I think we've talked about. So when they're over here, and if they want to save some screenshots from Google Earth, they're going to do it using the native tool. There are a lot of other ways to do it. So you may decide we're going to use Jing or Nimbus or Snagit or something like that instead of the native tool. Perfectly fine. Just make sure students know it and are comfortable using that on their own. Okay, guys, have a great week and enjoy this tool. It's very fun. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.